that is why today I have Dr. Samora Kamara, who's the, supposedly would be the next president in Sierra Leone, because the people of Sierra Leone are fed up. They're tired. They've evaluated now. They get opportunity for evaluate between the APC and SLPP, and they say it's night and day. And definitely with Dr. Samora Kamara now in this platform, you can't tell we're in policy, because guys, we're going to talk policy. We're going to talk about moving forward. That is the goal of this live. It's about moving forward. So let me try to put this video first of all of Mr. Francis Benkai-Fala, the Renaissance man, who I all know in story. There's this video that I'm going to share with you guys. I'm going to put it up on the screen, and we have all the the facts and the details to break this down, because again, it goes back to these guys just sending perceptions out there, creating this terrible persona for people like Dr. Samora Kamara themselves. But Dr. Samora Kamara, before I even put this video on of Francis Benkai-Fala talking about the Sarah Rutile thing, which of course, like I said, this is going to be in passing, just say hello to the Fambulem. And Dr. Samora, just tell me, you've been the Minister of Finance, a Minister, Bank Governor, Minister of Foreign Affairs. Just tell me a little bit, and then we'll take it from there. Go ahead and tell the Fambule Adu for me.
Fambule Unadu, good evening, everybody, my brothers and sisters. Thank you very much for watching this program and for following us. My name is Samora Kamara. As a nationalist, I've worked for the people of Sierra Leone, for all of you, for over 40 years in various sectors of the country, of the economy, mainly in the financial sector, many years in the Central Bank of Sierra Leone, and then many years in the public service, in particular in the Ministry of Finance, as Financial Secretary, as well as Minister of Finance and Economic Development. And then from there, went to the Central Bank as Governor of the Central Bank, after having spent many years there, from low position of economic executive, and then rose up to Governor of the bank in 2008. And then, of course, after which I also became Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation. In between, I had a stint in the International Monetary Fund, in the Executive Director's Office as Alternate Executive Director for Africa, covering 22 countries. Had a long stint at the Commonwealth Secretariat, first as Economics Officer between 1991 and 1994, and then became a Chief Economics Officer between 1997 to 2001, before I came back to Sierra Leone. So I've tried in the process to find ways of how, with my contribution, we can improve the life of every Sierra Leonean by developing a lot of policies and programs, interventions, both during, in fact, before the Civil War, during the Civil War, and after the Civil War. We have been in this period of post-conflict reconstruction since 2002, and we are still reconstructing after the war. It's not an easy thing. It's not a one-day thing. It's not a one-month thing. Like developing a nation is a continuous process and requires the engagement of everybody. We must all be involved. That's what politics is all about. You consult, you agree consensus, and then you execute together. And then you as a leader, you guide the process and provide services for the people. So in short, this is my journey in the government, in serving the government and people of this country. I'm not hearing you. You're mute.
Right. So for a lot of us, thank you, Doc. For a lot of us, we have no doubt in your service, exemplary service over the years. So wait till we can for can do now. We can expose these guys for a little bit. Of course, I have Catchbox with me to help us, break this whole thing about this SL mining thing. We're not going to go deep into it, Doc, but just to, allay the fears of the people. At least there, we listened to Francis Benkaifala. It said something about this SL mining 30%. And the reason why we mentioned this, you see, it's because Sarah Rutai.
Yeah.
Yes, Sarah Rutai. Yes. Thank you. And the reason why we mention is because, again, these are the same guys with now the new contract that is signed with, somebody shared my link. Please, please don't share this link. I only share this link to my guests. People keep calling. If you're sharing this link, please stop. All right. So we mention this because the thing is, when you look at these guys now, they get 10% with this new deal that Sarah Rutai signed. We of course the Sarah Rutai thing. But let's play this video of Francis Benkaifala, and then I'll bring this up there. Let's play this video of Francis Benkaifala first, and then we'll take it from there.
Okay.
The issue we get for do with sales of the Sarah Rutai, where you go inside the government white paper paragraph 18, we talk about the Sarah Rutai. They talk about secrecy and shady dealings where they happen during the sales, and safe paragraph B 18B, they talk about the issues them and how illegal it be happen, and name certain people where the first person the first time president and is by Kromah. It mentioned Dr. Samura Kamara and John Bono Sisi. Where una the review according to your words, they say una the review back some of the investigation there. Una they investigate all them 3 people there, so or una they do it individually.
We'd already investigate. We already get conclusions there, and I can tell you for a fact.
So how
that the Sarah Rutai deal was very shady. It was done without following proper processes. It was done without respect for the tax laws of Sierra Leone. For example, when they decided to reach the tax, the $8 million tax we then pay, I can tell you for a fact that Sarah Rutai be responsible for pay tax over $100 million. So how they reach the conclusion for say Sarah Rutai should pay $8 million was completely shady, was irresponsible, was careless. So quickly, and as I can speak with you, all the authorities that were involved in that issue don't confirm that themselves. Some of them talk and say they could not understand. They confirm say yes, the decision on the taxing was done like a rule of thumb. Like you can just sit down and talk, say, okay, you for pay 150 million, well the country had up right now, give you 8 million. So if we don't do that, then a remand arrangement now one day. Mr. And these are the kinds of things that we have to avoid as a country. So if we don't do these investigations, we already get on a conclusion according to you, we wait for the recommendations from the COI, and you self confirm some of the same things they're waiting at the government white paper, or they talk about shady dealings them and some secrecy will be happen in the transaction them. Is it that on a conclusion on a get and the COI being kind of similar, or on a being compare notes at some point? No. We will not ever get contact with the judges of the COI. They not ever get contact with me. Definitely will not get no relationship whatsoever. So why you keep we are the ACC. In fact, even when they set up the committee for look into the white paper report, I decided to say I'm not to get involved at all. I was totally removed from the process. So why we are the ACC mindful? We mindful of our independence, and we want to make sure say we keep that independence, because we are the gatekeepers for the fight against corruption. So why you hold on the report until the COI reports come out? If the reports been come out otherwise, say you not name then 3 people there so in the commission. Because now the principle of complementarity. So if the commission the report will come out, then 3 people there then name not inside the report, you for be go ahead and publish. Oh yes, I come out and say there is an aspect we will not look into. Look up. I am telling you. In fact, the COI not even deal with the tax aspect of the Sarah Rutai deal. Now we deal with her. Normally. So you see how we complement ourselves. They left out the tax aspect. They looked at more whether the shares were properly valued, whether they were carefully valued, whether the right rates were paid, and all these things. We zoomed in on the tax aspect which they were blindsided on, and we are now coming in to say, hey, here is another aspect of this investigation. And I can tell you for fact, everybody were involved in that decision making don't sit down with we and admit to the fact say the tax was irresponsibly decided. The ACC now.
Okay, so Dr. Samura, what is Francis Benkaifala talking about?
You know, my brother, this is the first time I'm hearing this interview. And the fella is a young man. I don't know how enthusiastic he is to make a name for himself. But if you serve the public, your watchword is sincerity, honesty. You must be ready to call the spade and speak the truth. I just want to intervene and correct one or two things. As far as me concerned, the issue about rutile has never had anything about tax payment. As far as me concerned, the own knowledge of what you go na the COI and what you put in the white paper, you don't get nothing for do with taxation. It had to do with the alleged sale of 30% of government equity in Sierra Rutile. And during the process, during the COI, it was clearly proved that there was no such sale. There was no equity holding by government to the tune of 30%. So, we don't know who side this tax business come out, and certainly I don't know who are the stakeholders who say they all don't admit that Rutile not pay tax. If, on the other hand, there are any tax issues between the government of Sierra Leone and Rutile, certainly it don't involve Samura Kamara. That I can tell you, and certainly it don't go involve the president and Ismail Kuruma. It would have to be a corporate problem within Rutile and between Rutile and the government on Rutile's own corporate operations. Say Rutile don't perform over the years, they don't able to pay them corporate tax, they don't audit them, they don't present the financial statements properly audited, and they fail to pay tax on their operations. But the issue, as far as me concerned, it get to do with this alleged 30% shareholding in government. I don't try for explainer. Now the COI, it came out very, very clearly. There was no 30%. Yes, again, let's try for clear the air. I don't try for clear that many, many times. When SLPP government came under Pakaba, Rutile was going down because of the war impact. Rutile be want to grab up again. And we there at a point where Solomon Berwa was then vice president. We're looking for a flagship international project where Sierra Leone will rely on to give the message to the international world that Sierra Leone, despite the war, is now ready to come back into the global economic activity area. So therefore, we're looking for one good international company investment in Sierra Leone. Because once you get around there, then you will send the message to other countries like Sierra Leone was then a safe country where any investor can come and do the investment. That's how when Rutile came to the government, they asked for so many waivers, incentives. One of them was, they said, we owe government a $5 million worth of dollars of PAYE unpaid. And PAYE now pay as you earn interest. Because they said during the war period, they are not performing, but they kept accumulating PAYE to government. So they asked for a waiver. Then the vice president said, what do you advise in the Ministry of Finance? I was then financial secretary. My advice was that as an incentive, you can provide them time relief, not to forgo the obligation, because it's a line of credit to us as a government. I say with the hopes that Rutile will pick up someday tomorrow. So we don't want to forgo this money. What we can do is give them time relief. And time relief, one of the instruments where they use in debt management. So we gave them to us, okay, can you defer this payment of PAYE, but you must remain current with all due PAYE obligations. Rutile agreed. Say, okay, this is good for us. We cannot pay these arrears, but we will try follow remain current with the staff. You understand the obligations where they do. During the discussions, now the finance come back to say, but what if tomorrow Rutile comes and declares itself bankrupt? Then we deny. So finance came back and advised the vice president, can we find a way in which we can lock in this $5 million worth of unpaid PAYE in equity? You understand?
Right.
So that's how we locked in, and we got, at that material time, we got between 8 and 10% of shares in this, in the Rutile.
Okay.
But then it was not in the principal company, Sierra Rutile, it was the subsidiary company, Alone Limited.
Absolutely.
You understand?
Right.
So Rutile agreed. So we locked in. By 2012, the budget began to get problems. We were looking for financing. Then it occurred to me, I said, we had some money locked in Rutile. Can we now call on this? On administrative procedure anyway.
Right.
So we just wrote a letter, wrote a memorandum to the president, and the president, bring the facts to him. He gave us executive approval to call on his debt. By the time we negotiated with Rutile, based on the formula that was agreed under Solomon Barrow's stewardship as vice president, with me in finance, it rose, when we calculate, I go from $5 million to $12 million. You don't understand? Right. So we call on the $12 million. And Rutile paid the $12 million there and then. And these funds were paid direct to the Sierra Leone government account at the central bank. That's why during the Commission of Inquiry, even the transfer document, the SWIFT, was shown as evidence.
Right.
And the bank was going to confirm receiving those funds. So now, if anybody tell me, say, it was a shady deal, I find it very surprising. But all of this, my brother, it came from the GGT report.
Right.
And if they ask me about how do we move forward as a country, you must make one big step in life, and even as a nation. Do not mismanage the transition. Do not mismanage the interface between your past government and your own government.
Right.
If you manage that interface.
Go ahead, Doc.
I think we lost him there.
No, okay, the network, I guess.
Yeah. Ibrahim, just while you're doing that, you know the first link I sent you, exactly what he's explaining now, the area I shaded green, that's exactly what he's talking about, the 30% there.
Okay.
Because
let me go to that. Guys, bear with us. Of course, again, Africa Network. Yes, sir. Blackout. Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Join me now. We ready. Salon people. You know, this is the things we're talking about. Now, blackout goes on. Blackout.